Francis Ngannou did not beat Tyson Fury, but he did win the fight. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to On Me Head Son. I hope you're all well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So a big weekend of sporting action we just had. South Africa beat New Zealand in the Rugby World Cup final by a point, and a bit of a dull affair there. We had some great boxing action with Serrano against Ramos on the Friday night thriller. That saw the first ever 12-rounder 3-minute fight. Serrano just came out on top and she's a class above basically. We had the thriller. Another thriller, this time in Mexico with Hernandez facing off against Foster, and that was a great contest as well. And of course we had the big fight, the big exhibition fight, that was Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia, and what a great undercard that was. Now if you're watching this video and you're also holding out for some football news, yeah, we had a great weekend of football as well. Some cracking results in the English Premier League. Man City beating Man United at home 3-0. Liverpool coming out on top, Arsenal stuffing Sheffield United, and lowly Everton going to the London Stadium against West Ham and beating them 1-0, which a bit of a tragedy because I'm a bit of a West Ham fan, but there we go. So look, football was great over the weekend for the most part, and great sporting activity, but again, let's get back to this Tyson Fury and Ngannou fight. Tyson Fury won. On points, he won. He got the decision, a split decision. That's it. Boo-hoo, sucks to you, Francis Ngannou, and the whole MMA world. Well, hold on a minute. Let's just rewind and see exactly what went on in this fight. Did Francis Ngannou lose this fight, or did he win a boxing match? Here's where we got to get into the technicalities here. Because if we're talking about a fight, then on the face of it, I certainly felt that Francis Ngannou had the better of it. He was delivering more power punches. He was walking forward the whole time. He was occupying the centre of the ring. But if we're talking about point scoring over the course of 10 rounds, then I've got to give it to Tyson Fury. And if you just ignore the punch stats just for 1 second, I always thought that the way Tyson Fury wins this fight convincingly in the way of schooling Francis Ngannou in the art of boxing was to keep his distance, have high level footwork, use the jab effectively, keep out of range, and just school him in the art of boxing. Then use that for 5-6 rounds, tire him out, walk him around the ring a lot, make him overreach, make him overcommit on many occasions, and then in the 6th, 7th round, then go in for the kill, as it were. But he didn't do that. Tyson Fury was very flat. Now, there's been lots of comments since saying, well, was his training camp correct? Did he have too many distractions? Was he overweight? You know, was he just ring rusty because he hadn't fought in over a year or so? So what was going on? If you look at his demeanour after the fight and interviews since, he doesn't seem to be at the races a little bit. Now, of course, he's had mental health issues as well, but there doesn't seem to be quite the Tyson Fury focus as we may have seen in previous fights as well. Now, maybe he just recognised that he was up against a fighter here that could cause him serious damage, but also ruin any kind of reputation that he has. So he was stalled into this fight. He stumbled into this fight rather than being clinical and rather than being on top of his game. So whilst he won the points, I believe, whilst he landed more jabs, and he won it on his jab basically, after he got knocked down in the 3rd round. If we just take it on a point scoring basis, then yeah, I think that Tyson Fury won the fight, won the boxing match. But I don't think he won the fight. Francis Ngannou was a lot more aggressive. He surprised everybody in the whole world. He shocked the world in his performance and his ability to display some decent boxing fundamentals. Let's not forget that Mike Tyson has been schooling him for the last few months as well, and it kind of showed in the way he's bobbing and weaving a little bit. He was actually stepping forward. He wasn't afraid to exchange, but also he's a man mountain. You know, he's built like the proverbial you-know-what. So anytime he was being caught by Tyson Fury with a jab or a combination, or a right-left combination, or a left-right combination, he was holding firm. There's only probably about 2 or 3 occasions during the fight where Tyson Fury connected and Francis Ngannou had to take a step back. But during the fight, especially after the third round, especially when Tyson Fury was knocked down, you kind of had the feeling that this fight was going towards Francis Ngannou. I thought that Tyson Fury needed to step it up and he needed to put on a dominant display, which he never did. And that's why we had about 3 or 4 rounds where you could say it was definitely Francis Ngannou's rounds. We had 3 or 4 rounds where it was definitely on point scoring, not necessarily aggressive and not necessarily hard hitting or power punches, but on the point scoring, it was definitely Tyson Fury's round. But there's another 2 or 3 rounds there where it could have gone either way, and that's why it was such a close fight, and that's why the scoring reflected that. It was so close either way, and he was in for a fight there. That was a tough challenge for Tyson Fury. So in many people's eyes, Francis Ngannou won the fight. He shocked the world. He surprised everybody about how good he was. My point is this: was he really that good, or was Tyson Fury that poor? And obviously I think this is a combination of two. Francis Ngannou was just that good. He proved everybody wrong. He proved that he could go toe-to-toe with Tyson Fury, the world champion, probably the best that we've seen in many a generation. And also he could take a punch as well. And also he was strong enough to not be bullied on and not be lent on by Tyson Fury as well. So was this a flash in the pan performance from Ngannou? I don't think so. I personally think he's at that standard. Is this standard, however, good enough for world championship level boxing? Okay, here's another question entirely. He might have been good enough to trouble Tyson Fury on the night, but I think Tyson Fury's preparation, his application during the fight, and the way he was in trying to impose himself on the fight wasn't working. That's why the gap between the two was so close. I think it was less about Francis Ngannou's excellence and more about Tyson Fury's lack of performance. So where do we put Francis Ngannou now? Well, a lot of the world governing bodies in boxing are trying to put him in the top 10. And yeah, on the strength of that performance, you would say top 10. Well, hey, top 5. But let's just reel back a little bit again. Let's just say the next logical fight for Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury would be a rematch. Now, of course, we've got the Fury against Usyk fight that's supposed to be in December, but it's probably going to be January, February, possibly as late as March now. But really, you want to get that fight out of the way because you want this fight to be done again. We want to have a rematch. We want to see if a fully focused, fully ring-ready Tyson Fury is going to be able to match up against Francis Ngannou again. In the meantime, do we see Francis Ngannou with another heavyweight to see how he does? Stylistically, will he be able to match up with another heavyweight? And also, now that they've got footage on Francis Ngannou, what about the tactics? Will they be able to use tactics against Francis Ngannou that actually show what a poor boxer that they think he is, or will it show how good of a boxer he actually is? Does Francis Ngannou need to go back to MMA? I certainly don't think so. I think the money is in boxing. This is where he can get a lot of good fights now. So already we're talking about Deontay Wilder against Francis Ngannou. We're talking about Anthony Joshua against Ngannou, which I think would be a great fight as well. But you put Ngannou against any of the top heavyweights, it's going to be a fantastic fight that's going to be watched the world over. So this is big money fights now for Ngannou. Big money fights. The same for Tyson Fury. He's got the huge fight against Usyk. Now he has to recover after this fight, but that's going to happen. But let's just say he gets through Usyk. Then he can go for the huge money fight, the rematch against Ngannou again. So for both fighters here, there's lots of money to be made. There's lots of media attention, lots of global attention in these two fighting again. In the meantime, there's lots of appetite for Ngannou to fight the other top boxers as well to see how he faces there. My gut feeling here is that he overperformed in this match. He met Tyson Fury toe-to-toe in the center of the ring, and he came out on top, certainly in most of the minds, but certainly in the hearts of many boxing fan, but certainly most MMA fans out there. The question is, can he repeat it? The question is, can he go toe-to-toe with Tyson Fury again? A fully focused, a fully fit, a fully prepared Tyson Fury? And also, can he go toe-to-toe with another top-level heavyweight? I'm not so sure he can. And I'm basing this purely on his movement, his footwork, and his basic level boxing in the fight. The massive advantage that Ngannou has over most other fighters out there, or most other boxers in this case, is that his raw power and also his punch resistance. But was that really tested? Were any of his weaknesses really exposed? I don't believe that Tyson Fury really exposed any of those weaknesses, but Ngannou definitely exposed the weaknesses of Tyson Fury. Will Ngannou be able to expose another fighter? Or will another fighter be able to expose him? And these are huge questions, but these questions will generate lots of attention, lots of eyes on these upcoming fights. And I can't wait for them, because now it's opened up the heavyweight division. It's opened up an endless possibility of high-level, high-quality fights that we can have between some of the best fighters in the world. And we're talking boxing here. You know, we're not talking about the MMA cage here. We're not talking about, you know, when Tyson Fury went down, then Ngannou could have just jumped on him and pasted him. That was never going to happen in a boxing ring. But of course, in an MMA cage, yeah, it would definitely happen. And you don't really think that Tyson Fury would last 5 seconds. Although he thinks he can, I think we can safely say he can't. But now we're talking the sweet science, the sweet art of boxing. Can Ngannou do it again? I believe he can, but I just don't think he can do it at the level that now we think that he can. Can he repeat his performance against Tyson Fury? Well, again, I think he can if Tyson Fury underperforms. I think if Tyson Fury comes back with a top level performance, I don't think we're going to be that enthusiastic about Ngannou again. And this is why Ngannou has to go for the high level fights here in boxing and not go for the lower level heavyweights out there. You know, a top 10, a top 15 heavyweight. I think he needs to go for the top 5 heavyweights out there. Deontay Wilder, AJ, obviously Tyson Fury. This level fighter that you need to really test Ngannou, and also for Ngannou to test those fighters as well. What I would love to see is Ngannou against Usyk. How they would match up, stylistically how would they match up. And I've got a feeling that Usyk would really struggle with Ngannou. I just don't feel that he's got the punch resistance of Ngannou's power. But Usyk will probably run rings around Ngannou in the ring. Let's know your thoughts on this. Which should be the next fight for Ngannou? Which should be the next heavyweight challenger for Ngannou? Or should he not fight anybody else and just wait until Fury has fought Usyk, wait another 3 months or so, and then come in and have the rematch? I personally think there should be a fight before then for Ngannou. Then both of those match up again in the summer. Let's say about August next year. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and I'll catch you again on another video coming very soon. But what a performance by Francis Ngannou. Top-notch stuff. He really showed up Tyson Fury for being not the quality that we always thought he was, because he just underperformed. I still believe the quality is there. I still believe that a fully fit, fully prepared Tyson Fury will school Francis Ngannou, but let us know your thoughts. Catch you again. Bye now.